go ahead and get started with today's stream. Alright, good morning guys. Ooh, good morning. Hello Mr. Pro5511 and Hans also said good morning. Is my screen like blurry? Hold on. Yeah, it's a little bit blurry. Let me fix that in just a second. I have tissues here prepared. Thank goodness for that. There you go. Hopefully it's clearer. Right. Preferably, I prefer it to be a little bit darker, just because turning into a light can give me a headache over time. But I guess this will do. Okay, so it looks like everything is working just fine, so this is wonderful. Okie dokie. So yeah, every first 5 minutes in the morning, I'm just presetting everything, just making sure the equipment's fine, you can hear the music, my tablet's in front of me and everything. And then here we are. Alright. Welcome to session 21. I thought today was session 20. I was just about to pull up yesterday's questions and I'm like, oh, good thing I checked. Always check before. And I'm so glad that I made this session yesterday, so yeah, I didn't get home until like 9:30 p.m. and I was just preparing everything for the plans for today. I hope you guys have a good day so far, or good morning, good evening, whatever. So our stream itinerary for today is that we have greetings, conversation, practice, questions, comments, concerns, and suggestions. My morning is starting great because I have my strawberry matcha ale. Basically it's strawberry, I'm forgetting what it's called. It's not strawberry jelly. It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna look it up for a quick second. So hold on one second while I try to pull that up. Strawberry ole. Got it. I figured out what it was. Also, let me just grab my stream because it just suddenly closed my tablet. Sounds fancy. That's what Hans said. Yes, it is fancy. Actually, it's really easy ingredients. You just have to buy strawberry preserves, I don't know. But I usually get strawberry preserves, and then I get milk, and then I make my own matcha. So I do actually just received my next package of coffee dose. So, sorry, coffee dose was what I said, everyday dose. I'm not sponsored, by the way, but I've been on this for like 5 months now. It's been very good for me. It boosts my energy, elevates mood, fights inflammation, enhances focus. It boasts about being an excellent alternative, not an alternative. I mean, yes, an alternative. Yes, let's just say alternative for those people who have ADHD. Because if I believe the story for this is that the president who created this, the founder, he had ADHD for like his entire life. So he made it his life's goal to find something that'll help combat with his ADHD. So he found this. And basically he boasts about his coffee, but then they made their matcha, and you guys know I prefer my tea over my coffee. Sorry, I was shaking this because it's kind of like thick on the bottom, so it's like spreading it up to the top. So this is the original one, coffee dose, and it says mushroom coffee plus. So it has mushrooms, collagen, protein, nootropics. It has boost energy, elevates mood, inflammation support, and enhances focus. So the dose actually stands for dopamine, the O stands for oxytocin, S stands for serotonin, and E stands for endorphin. And everyday dose, I'll just read the description for you. So for the matcha, it says, everyday dose took matcha and drastically built on its benefits and added supplements. Our next gen matcha is loaded with functional mushrooms, nootropics, and collagen protein to give you calmer energy and sharper focus with added gut, brain, and immune support so that you feel balanced and find your flow. The taste better than your baristas with a microdose of caffeine, which is 40 milligrams. No crash, no anxiety, and no stomach problems. Welcome to the future of matcha. And it's made by matcha powered by Tenzo. And I've had brands from Tenzo before, I think. It looks really familiar. I feel like I've had their tea in the past. The one for coffee says, everyday dose solves the problems of regular coffee while drastically building on its benefits. With added supplements, our next gen coffee is loaded with functional mushrooms, nootropics, and collagen protein to give you calmer energy and sharper focus with added gut, brain, and immune support so that you feel balanced and find your flow. The taste better than your baristas with 80% less caffeine than regular coffee. No crash, no jitters, and no stomach problems. Welcome to the future of coffee. So yes, I've had their coffee. I was actually drinking their coffee yesterday because it's been a while. I slept at not midnight. I slept at 5 p.m. yesterday, and I crashed on my couch because my dad and I were bonding over listening to music. And oh my goodness, this thing keeps connecting to my device here. Hello, Miran. Good to see you. Happy to see you. Thanks for joining. I was just sharing about my coffee and my tea experience as well. That's what I've been doing. So yeah, that's what I made this of, and it's yummy. Like, I've been addicted to this one drink called strawberry ole, and it's available in Mitsuwa. They have this bakery in Costa Mesa that I go to, and I used to go there and order the strawberry ole all the time because it was just so delicious. And it's actually quite an easy recipe. It's just strawberry preservatives and then milk. That was it. And it was simple and it was delicious. And I liked that so much that I was thinking, you know what, I could recreate that with matcha. So I recreated that, and this is my morning routine, is just this. If I'm fortunate enough to prepare it, like for example Sunday night, I prepare like maybe 2 or 3 drinks, and then I can drink that the next morning. And then I don't know if I'll have a second cup. I'll think about it. But yeah, I think it's perfect for me because it's not too sweet, because the strawberry preserves are already really sweet as is, and that counterbalances with the bitterness of matcha, which is one on top. And then because the matcha can be really, really bitter, so I need something to, you know, just to counterbalance it. So I either use honey or strawberry ole. So yeah, that's my morning drink. And I actually feel alert right now. So I just started drinking this maybe 5 minutes before the stream started, like at 4:55. It's yummy, and like I feel awake, I feel focused. So honestly, I can't go on my day without having at least one of this or coffee, like everyday dose coffee. Also, Miran says, hi, I've been sick all day long. And then she's like, sounds yummy. I think she's referring to the drink that I was talking about. Oh my goodness, Miran, please get some rest. Yeah, I feel like this whatever cold that's happening right now, it's really, really infectious. I'm like maybe this close to rebounding again and getting sick once more because my kids are like coughing and sneezing and they don't cover their mouths. And I asked them, I'm like, do you guys not want me to be here? And they're like, why? I know I want you to be here. And I'm just like, then cover your mouth, because if you get me sick, I can't be here. I'm gonna be really sick. And I don't want to like come to work sick again. I did it during well, the week before Thanksgiving break happened. I was like super sick, and then during the entire week of Thanksgiving break, I was sick. I was just knocked out. It was just bad. My immune system was dropping a lot. So yeah, it was just like horrible. I don't want to get sick because I don't get enough time off. So I do have sick, like, is it PT? I don't know if I could call it PTO. They call it sick leave. They're different, I believe, because I know I asked my my sister about this, and she has a sick pay, and she also has a PTO, which are different. I don't get PTO. I only get sick pay. So I have fortunately amassed almost 8 hours of sick pay, and it's been like since October that I started working for this job, I think. So yeah, as a result, I'm just like, I don't want to get sick. But yeah, Miran, I don't want to get sick either, is what she said. Okay, so it's good to see you, Miran. Thank you for joining. I've missed you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with our next topic for today. So here's our conversation practice, and thank you for joining me even though you're sick. All right, our first question is, define a fulfilling or satisfying life. Hint, there is no right answer. So this is just basically up to your perception. Like, what do you think is considered a satisfying or fulfilling life? Miriam reacted with like hugging emoji, I believe. It's the one with like the smiley face and the hands are there. It's so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna give time because, as you guys know, I like to give you guys time to think about your answer. So I'll answer the question first, and then I'll read your guys' answer next. Define a fulfilling or satisfying life. So my perception of a fulfilling or satisfying life is that I'm able to exercise my passion. I'm able to do something that's creative. And of course, I'm financially stable. And of course, that I at least have a roof over my head. So if I meet that criteria, it is a satisfying and fulfilling life for me. So my current life at the moment is, I would say, satisfying, because I am able to pursue my passions, which is teaching and streaming with you guys right now. Like, how lucky am I to have the equipment that I have and then be able to stream for you guys here. And I kind of find this a little funny for myself because I don't really perceive myself as a streamer, you know, like on Twitch or something. And then I saved up all my money to buy all of these equipment. So I have like fancy lights, I have this like aesthetic background, and I do have some mess in my table here because I have a lot of notes that I have to look at after the stream here. I leave a lot of sticky notes for myself. Then subscribing to Streamlabs to be able to stream on YouTube and Instagram, and it's just funny to me. But yes, I feel satisfied that I'm able to provide these stuff for myself so I can pursue my passions. And I'm also glad that in a creative outlet, I could do all the things I want to do, which is I can dance, I can sing, I can write stories, I can learn languages if I wish to. So it's just, I feel very fortunate that I can pursue all of this at this time. All right, so Miran said here, when she said defining a fulfilling or satisfying life, for her, the concept of satisfying life can be different by beliefs they have. Exactly. So I wrote this question with the intention of making it like subjective. Like any answer, it's different for everyone, you know, because our priorities, our perceptions of life are different. So I wanted to hear everyone's answer. So Hans said, living life in a way that makes my needs are met so I can do my wants. That's awesome. I like that. I like having stability in like, you know, in your everyday needs met first, and then you can pursue what you want. So I've always reminded myself that the essentials being like survival, you have a house, you have a roof over your head, you have food on the table. As long as those are at least met, then you can move on to your wants or needs next. Miran said, a quick question. You pursue what you are passionate about in your life. How did you end up finding your passion? Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. How did I find out my passion? So when it comes to my passions, it's like something that I look forward to. There's a feeling of excitement, you know, like you can't wait to do something, or like you have a reason to wake up early for something, you know? As I don't know if you guys are aware, but I am not a morning person. Absolutely not a morning person. Waking me up in the morning is ridiculously hard. My body can function and wake up at like 4 in the morning now, actually 4:30 in the morning, because I've been training myself for at least a week to wake up to my alarm clock by 4:30 a.m. So my body's able to wake up at 4:30 a.m. now. I noticed that I do have alarm clocks at 4 a.m. I slept through it, but for some reason at 4:30 my body wakes up. It just knows. So it's been a week since I've been on this routine. So, and the fact that I'm able to connect it to good things, like for example, when I wake up first thing in the morning, I need to drink water because I'm dehydrated. I need some water. Next, I need to freshen myself up, go to the bathroom, wash my face, use a toilet, wear my contacts, etc. Like trade in my glasses. And then next thing I tell myself is you gotta exercise, because if you can exercise for these next few months, you're gonna like have a toned body. You're gonna have upper strength that you never had in a long time, and then streaming like this because I get to see you guys. So it's like my excitement is there. Like I want to be here to engage in pursuing like teaching languages, you know. Miran says for some people it would be hard to find their passions. Exactly, it can be hard because as you grow older you start to lose your passion for certain things. So one example of some passions that I've lost over time was my passion for tennis. When I was younger, I was obsessed with tennis. I remember in middle school, I would eat my lunch in 5 minutes. I would scarf down my lunch meal very quickly. Then I would run straight to a tennis court. And so I had enough time to play tennis for 30 minutes. Because I think my lunch break was maybe 45. So I wanted more time to play tennis more than anything. And I used to be so addicted to it. And because of my addiction to it, I think in 2 years, I made it into the varsity team. And it was just obvious. I love tennis. But now that I'm older, I don't share the same passion like I used to anymore because, number one, my body is not the same as it was 10 years ago? No, maybe 15 years ago. Yeah, 15 years ago. I don't have the same body type anymore. I have weak ankles and I can barely keep myself going in tennis. So yeah, it's just, I still love playing it, but I don't have the same passion as I used to, you know? So that's why it was important for me to always have an open mind and, you know, allow yourself to see life as an opportunity to learn more about yourself because things change. Another example would be dance, right? So my whole life I've always perceived dancing as like, I don't ever want to learn how to dance. I don't want to because I'm an embarrassment. I can't dance. My parents used to comment about how stiff I was, so I had a very negative view of dancing. And then when I got older, I realized, you know, I don't really like gym as I used to. Like I would go to gym because I know I need to work out and look good and exercise, which I still kind of do to this day. But I started to see like, okay, can I use dance and use it as a substitute for running, for example, because I noticed that I feel more motivated to dance and lose weight that way, you know? And I found that connecting it to music, which has been a passion of mine ever since I was little, or since the moment I was born, It was just that trigger was there, and I was like, okay, I really enjoy when I listen to music when I'm exercising, because it makes me feel like I'm not suffering as much because if I have something to distract myself, like especially if I'm like getting into the beat and rhythm of a song, then it's much more enjoyable for me. So finding these little triggers are usually what sets the course of finding your passions. It's like something you feel like you want to be there, you know? So Miran says, as I get older, I often think how I should feed our family rather than what I like to do in my life. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine because, you know, you're a mother. You have a family, you have a husband, and you have a child. And things about parents that I admire is that, you know, when you get to that stage in your life, you're very sacrificial. Like, your passion is sometimes neglected. Sometimes your passion can turn towards your family as your passion. You want to take care of them. You want to feed them. You want to spend all your time with them because, you know, they're precious to you. So I believe that, you know, one day when I do start my own family or have my own family, at some point I'm going to stop doing this kind of stuff and put it aside because I need to take on my role as a mother and provide for my husband or my child someday. I think that's why for me, I feel like I'm brute forcing my way and just kind of going straight into my passions right now because I know with all my heart that I am the kind of person that will sacrifice everything for people I love. All of my friends have seen the things that I'm capable of giving them. My former relationship also reflected that I am someone who's capable of sacrificing stuff for them. So that's why for me, I think it's really important that, you know, I give myself the time that I have right now, you know, especially since I'm embracing singlehood. I've been single for like 2 years now, I think. And it's been great for me because I know for a fact that once I settle down and find someone, that's it. Like, that's it for me. I'm gonna be with someone. There's a high likelihood that we might get married. And the reason why I say that is because I'm the kind of person that wants to get married. Like, I want to settle down. I want to start a family. But right now, until that moment happens, I just want to enjoy what I have and this time for myself, you know? So I know that when I have a child, I mean, the fact that I already have a pet rabbit, my pet rabbit is my baby. So I spend lots of money on him because I want him to have an enjoyable life for the limited time he has with me. My rabbit is already 8 years old, so rabbits can only last up to 10 years or 12 years if they're well taken care of. So I don't know how long Jack has time left with me, but I try to spend as much time with him if possible. So I know for a fact that if I had can I imagine when I have my own child? So I will be spoiling that kid with all the love, all the money, everything, whatever they want to their heart's desire. I will be spoiling that kid. So I know for a fact that one day I will be sacrificing a lot of things for other people. But for the time being, since I'm just by myself, spend a lot of time for myself, you know, just give myself a fulfilling life that I'm happy with, you know? Miran says, enjoy the single moment. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm not worried about dating. Especially since I have so much passion. Like, yeah, I have so many passions around me, singing, dancing, learning languages, etc. Because the moment I start to have a partner, I have to consider like what he feels. I can't do a lot of these me time events because my partner will probably be like, you're neglecting me too much, Hana. And I'm just like, man, I have to readjust, recalibrate myself because I'm back in a relationship. So I really, really, really want to enjoy my singlehood before anything else because I know for a fact that I'll never get this back. Or I will have it back, but in very, very small limitations because, you know, I have other priorities in my life now. I cannot put my passions first anymore. I have to put my family first. And that's just how it is. Yeah. So I think, Miran, I feel like you do have a passion because I've seen you going on Zumba. I saw your stories the other day, so I feel like your passion is still there. And of course, as your child grows older and becomes a little bit more independent, I feel like you can slowly come back to your passions, you know? Because, again, the older we get, we start to find new interests about ourselves. I've noticed that, you know, back then, I've observed my dad where he used to love tennis so much. And he's probably the reason why I was obsessed with tennis. But then he started transitioning to golf. And I was like, Dad, do you like golf? And he's like, I'm at an age where it's like I can't play tennis anymore because he doesn't have the strength or the stamina to do it anymore. So he played golf. So as you can see, as you get older, we're just adapting to different interests. And usually where it starts is just exposure, I suppose. Watching YouTube videos, making new friends, putting yourself out there in a situation where you're allowed to exercise what you do like. So for example, if you are a creative person, why not put yourself in creative outlets? Like go to like a bookstore to see if you like to read, or if you want to write there, go join a writing club and see if that's something that interests you. Go to an open mic event to see if you like being in an area where you can listen to people sing and perform, or they might even be reading poetry or dancing. Who knows? It's an open mic event. You can never really know what's happening during those nights. But those are like triggers, I would say. It just takes like a few seconds or up to a minute, and then you just know that this is something you like, you want to explore, and you enjoy it. So you have a lot of things. So you have an opportunity to find passions as long as you know yourself enough, like you know where to be to trigger those emotions and experiences for yourself. Okay, so Miran says, yeah, I was on the stage in front of 400 people that last weekend. Oh my god, so you were performing. That's amazing. Nice. It was crazy experience. I meant good crazy. That's awesome. Were you performing? Like, did you have like a set performance, or were you like one of the exercise dancers? Because I know you did Zumba. I just don't know if it was like a performance kind of dance. And it's really fun. I mean, like, if you can dance like after, like, let's say you have some downtime for yourself, free time for yourself, do you go on like meetings with like your colleagues in these Zumba classes? Did you guys do like private dances? I know you mentioned that the person who taught Zumba was a professional and that she did this for fun. So I don't think she got paid. She just loved it for the community. And I mean, that's it for her. That's a passion for her right there. And I feel like your involvement in there is also a reflection of your own passion, you know? And I love that you're so involved with it, because Zumba is so healthy, first and foremost. And second, it's just really fun. That's also my personal experience, because I love anything with dance now. Because if I can sweat while dancing, that means I'm losing weight. I'm also in a better, it's a better benefit for me overall, because I'm exercising something related to music, something related to gym, and it's also getting myself into dance again, which is, again, the top 3 reasons why I really like Zumba. It's just like it connects to all 3 of my criteria. And then Miran said, yeah, it was more like dancing exercise. Oh, okay, so you're like one of the dancing kind of instructors. So you have a middle person who's the main instructor, and then you have people in the background who are exercising with her, I suppose. Was it something like that? That sounds really fun though. My goodness, that's a great experience. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next slide. I'm just checking if I had any other comments here, but I'll read it as we go. Okay, second question. What do you need to make your life more satisfying or fulfilling? Okay, so Miriam commented and said, yeah, it was more like dancing exercise. Okay, so she was like one of those backup dance instructors. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so while we give time to Miran to answer the next question, what do you need to make your life more satisfying or fulfilling? What do I need to make my life more satisfying or fulfilling? For me, it's routine. If you guys saw yesterday's live stream, the whole theme of the questions revolved around establishing a routine. So if you didn't watch that video, hopefully you guys can watch it on YouTube. I think on Instagram, they took down the reel. They're like, you have a copyright music, so we're taking it down. And I'm just like, that's great. Now no one can watch this video. So yeah, the video's on YouTube. That one did not get a copy strike. Not a copy strike. I didn't get any copyright claims, so they kept it up there. Because Lofi said it's free to use as long as you credit them in your description. So I follow the rules, and it's all there. But yeah, it should be fine. If you guys watch the YouTube video, it's there. I also have a copy of the reel from our Instagram as well, so I might upload it on YouTube. Who knows? I don't know if I will. I'm just gonna focus on the highlights, which is what I will be uploading on the reel. But yeah. Anyways, I apologize for that problem, but it happens. And that's my alarm telling me, hey, it's 5:35. Okay. So, back to the question, what do you need to make life more satisfying or fulfilling? Yeah, for me, it's routine. I need a routine because I can honestly enjoy days where I just stay in bed and I don't do anything. And I know my parents are a little bit concerned for me because sometimes they'll pass by my room and they'll see me like I'm in my bed, which is above my head. I just sit there and I don't do anything. I'm just staring at the roof, or I'm just looking through my phone, and I just stay in bed all day. And they're probably a little concerned, like, oh, am I depressed? Because they know I have moments of depression where I'm just like, I feel unmotivated to do anything. But no, I just want to stay in bed because I've been stimulated from work, dealing with so many social interactions that I'm just burnt out. I don't want to see anyone. But I do have my friends who are always like, Hannah, let's go out, let's watch a movie, let's have dinner, let's do this and that. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll go out because I haven't seen them in ages. And that's really the adult life. The adult life is just, you mostly work and then you barely see your friends. And it takes at least 2 weeks or up to a month to plan something with adult friends because we all have our own schedules now. So making time for friends is really hard nowadays. This is a adulthood experience. So yeah. Again, going back to topic. Sorry, I keep going off tangent here. So what makes my life more satisfying and fulfilling? Just having some sort of routine like I have right now. This is so fulfilling for me because I can actually pursue things that I want to do. And I feel happy because I'm doing everything that I wanted except for one thing, which is dance at the moment, because I took dance off since December. So December, January, and then I will be starting again in February. So I'm coming back to dance, and I needed to just take a time off for that. So having a routine is good for me because it's meeting all aspects of my life. So yesterday I started singing again, which is why my voice sounds like this. I sang the whole day. I sang to work. I sang on the way back home. And it was good for me because it woke me up so I didn't fall asleep while I was driving, which tends to happen. I get really sleepy before work and I get really sleepy on the drive back home. So having an opportunity to listen to a language learning app followed by singing afterwards, I'm pursuing my interests again. Or I'm listening to a podcast about a book that I'm reading, and that one is also helping me too. So again, I'm meeting all the criteria I need. I don't listen to radio music as much as I used to. I just listen to all of these stuff, which are my passions. So hence why I always tell people like, oh, I don't know what's happening on the news or what's happening in the world because I'm immersing myself in my passions. So I essentially don't know what's happening. So I'm just like, I don't know what happened. If it's a big news, I would probably find it on Instagram because it would show up on my like story or like on my post. So that's why. Okay, so I don't see anything from Miran. She hasn't said anything else here, so that's okay. Just checking. Alright, I'm just gonna check something. Hold on, guys. My Instagram's acting weird. Of course it's acting weird. Alright, kidoki. Alright, welcome back, Miran. Welcome back. Hans. I just see like my thing is just acting weird was all. It just doesn't show who's on. Anyways, I think Miran had to step out or close the video or because it says she joined, but I don't see her in the watch list currently. That's okay. But that's my answer for this one. Hans, if you have one, you can share too. But as far as I know, you're driving to work, so don't text and drive. That's too dangerous to do. All right. So, the next question. What steps would you need to make your life more satisfying or fulfilling? So, I mentioned that what I need to make my life more satisfying or fulfilling is having a routine. And it's also answering this question as well. The steps I need to make my life more satisfying or fulfilling is to maintain that routine. So it really helps if you have a visual board or you have some sort of reference to look at. So for me, it's my booho, wherever my booho is. Oh, it's right here. Pull it up. It's in my work bag. Okay. And I'm gonna keep bringing this up because this is my other passion, you know? Anything that I could exercise some sort of creativity, I realize that I really enjoy it. The only one I think where I'm a little bit reluctant in pursuing my passions for, but I do enjoy, like, idly, is drawing. I could have been a good artist, maybe, if I wasn't so perturbed by my classmates' constant criticism. I was discouraged to draw because someone was telling me, oh, you draw your anatomy wrong, this looks funny. And they don't do anything to help me improve. They just made fun of the way that I drew. And because of that, I didn't want to draw anymore. But I know that I am capable of drawing, and I know my art style. I really like just drawing things like a sketch pad. I think I have an example of it here, so I can find it for you guys. Let me see. Let's see. Oh. Also, welcome. Is that one of my friends? Hello. Hi. Good to see you. So feel free to answer the questions if you're here and want to see the stream. You can answer them and I can read your comment aloud. Meanwhile, I'm trying to pull up Remarkable so I can show you an example of how I used to draw. It should be working here. Trying to see if this works. The app for some reason is not loading. I've clicked this app many times. Okay, while this is still loading and I'm getting that started, yeah, I think at some point in my life, maybe I could have been a good artist. I had potential for it. I had room for improvement for sure. And I mean, anyone who's pursuing a passion, you always have room for improvement. So if you are, you know, whenever you start something, you gotta start somewhere. You're not gonna be perfect and it's not gonna look good, and that's fine. For myself, I feel like whenever I draw something, it's easy for me to kind of see the moment or see the point of reference, and I try to break it down to, like, I know there's a method for it in art. I just don't remember what it was, but I know they did something where, like, you draw the lines and then you just, like, imagine putting that kind of marking on whatever is your reference or subject, and then from there you would just try to get those small, like, you want to break it down to small parts so you can be kind of as accurate as possible. I tend to do something similar like that, but at the same time, it's like, what's the word for it? At the same time, it's like, I'm just trying to think of something. It's not accurate. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I have something to as a point of reference, but it's not accurate as far as I know. I'm just trying to find the thing. Is it in my quick sheet? I think it is in my quick sheets. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, here it is. So I'm gonna show an example of something I drew. This is actually my Target gift card that I purchased, or well, I received this from, I think, one of my students for a present, and they had a picture of Spot, which is the dog from Target, and this is an example of my drawing. So I think I made this on April 5, 2022, and I can tell that I did have potential. I did draw something quite adorable, and then this was another one that I drew with a cup. Also, ignore that. That's just my hiatus name, or like my pen name. And I think this is my students were drawing this. They took my, or my friends, they drew this. They took my tablet and they're like, I want to draw something. So they drew these random stuff on there. So, yeah. That is an example of my drawing. Like, I know I'm capable and able to draw. It's just a shame I didn't choose to pursue it when I was younger, because I might have had a much better style, and it was just obvious right from there and then. But yeah, so if you let discouragement get the best of you, you miss out on opportunity, you know? So if you love something, don't give up on it, especially if you're passionate about it. So unfortunately, I lost my interest in drawing because I was easily discouraged by comments regarding that, and I felt frustration. But the one thing I did notice that I never gave up on was singing, because singing is actually far worse than drawing for me. And that is because when you are someone who has an uncoordinated brain when it comes to singing, uncoordinated meaning that it's really hard for you to match your pitch of voice and replicate it to the key. You think you're on key, but you're not, because something in your brain doesn't allow you to coordinate it, and that just requires a lot of hard work and habit and hearing yourself over and over again. Then you can sing on the key. So it's all about training yourself. My lack of coordination gave me the nickname that I was off key, or like I was I could never sing on key back then. And my sister, I think my sister used to call me tone deaf. Like, she'd be like, Ate, you're tone deaf. My parents would also say I'm tone deaf too. But I realized after taking a vocal course, it was a vocal pedagogy master program course that I was fortunately to be pulled into. I spoke with the professor and she's like, oh, do you know this is a graduate level program? And since you don't have music background, I'm a little bit concerned because this is a master class. And we typically take in students who have music as their background, you know? And she's like, tell me about yourself. So I wrote her an email talking about my background, why I was interested, why I wanted this course, and then she just basically said, okay, I'll take you. I'll let you in. And I did really well in the class. She was actually really surprised. She was like, wow, you did an excellent job. I finished the semester with an A, I think. I did really, really well. And she was just saying, you know, like, after this course, you can call yourself a vocal coach if you wish. And then I was like, oh, okay. And I was telling her stuff like, oh, am I less than a coach if I don't know how to play the piano? And she's like, girl, you live in a generation where everything is available on the internet. You don't essentially need to know how to play the piano, like playing chords and stuff. As long as you know what it is and you can send it to your students, that's perfectly fine, because everything is there for you. And then I was also told by my music friends, I have this one colleague who is a music teacher, and he told me, you know, music, like, a lot of the students, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna put, like, this is gonna be like a side flame here. They said, like, music students tend to be gatekeepers, and the expression meaning, like, they tell you one thing is the correct way, but it's not. Like, music is meant to be shared. Music is meant to be, like embraced. Like, there's different outlets of versions. Like, of course, you have the right to believe that, okay, this is the professional way, or this is how it should be. That is your right for it. But you can't point fingers and say, this version that we're doing is wrong. Like, that's just, music is meant to be a form of expression, you know? You can't really say what's wrong or right. And then of course the music, or like mainstream music, will just go with what the public leans towards and what is most popular. And I have a lot of music friends who are like, I dislike modern day music because it's so simple, or it's like, it's kind of like lazy performance, it's the same chord, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, I get it, because you are a classical cult. Like, you really like the technique that they did in the past. And I know that back then it was so popular, and it still is popular if you go to like concerts or private events, because you know, this is where skills are needed, and perfecting that technique, that's fine, that's your group, totally cool. I'm indifferent. What I just dislike is just people who tell me like, okay, you're not allowed to do this or that. Like, who do you have the right to say that to? It's not your life. You don't live in my shoes. You don't breathe what I go through. Like, breathe, sorry. You don't walk in my shoes every day. You don't breathe and live in my body, so you stay in your lane, I stay in mine, you know? So of course people are welcome to disagree with my opinion and beliefs, and that's perfectly fine. I don't care and I don't mind, because whatever makes you happy, right? So going back to the question, it's what makes your life satisfying or fulfilling for you? Cool. Just don't drag people down there if they don't want to be there. And then Hans said there's music for everyone. Exactly. So yeah, after being in like the music group, I kind of understood what they meant, why people can be, in kinder words, posh about music. And I understand it's technique and it's hard work. And I noticed this because I have classmates who are not experiencing like stage fright like I do. They've been singing and they pursued music seriously in their music courses and programs. And what's the thing for it? And also, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, and it's a different world. It's just people are so confident there, and that's something I admire. I always felt a little bit hesitant and scared to sing in front of my classmates. I don't ever want to volunteer singing, mainly because I don't want to show that, you know, I am uncoordinated. Like, I am embarrassed that I don't sing on key, and I feel like I don't feel safe sometimes to perform in front of music majors because they're quick to judge. I don't know if they're kind and have a much kinder perception. I just know that, you know, in my experience at least, it's been kind of negative. So I've met like musicians who are very like critical, and they can be really mean at times. You know, I've been told that I'm not a good singer, and honestly, I don't mind. Like, nowadays I'm just like, oh, I don't care anymore. Like, if you don't like my voice, that's okay. It's your right. I don't take it personal. Back then I used to, and I used to take his comments or these kind of comments kind of personal, but nowadays I'm like, no, it's your right. You know, I kind of perceive singing and music is like, it's the same thing as fashion. You don't have to like the style I like, and that's perfectly fine. It's your life. I'm not here to convince you to like me, and we're cool. As long as we're cool friends, that's fine. You don't have to agree with my taste. So I digress. Sorry for going off on this tangent, but as you can see, music is very strong for me, and it does help lead me to a more satisfying and fulfilling life. I think there's one more question here, and then we're done. Do you think this would improve your life? Why or why not? So the steps, and referring back to what makes my life fulfilling, from my personal experience, since I am already in the process of making a routine for myself, like I mentioned, I've been on here for like a week already, maintaining my 4 a.m. schedule, and then coming here to teach in the morning and then going to work. Hasn't made a difference in my life? Oh yeah, absolutely. I think even though I have to sacrifice sleep most of the time, because I would fall asleep around 11-ish, and I would only have up to 5 to 6 hours of sleep every night, just because I'm throwing this into my schedule. It's so good for me because I love doing this kind of stuff. I love teaching. I love being able to talk to you guys and then share my passions and hear your passions too. Like, we're having a cultural exchange of passions, or maybe called passion exchange might be the better word for it. But yeah, I've noticed that waking up has been less resentful from my end. And I see someone comment in the chat, Dante, hey Hannah, it's been a while. Hi, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I see your comments, and that's awesome. I can actually see the comments down there too on my what's it called? On my Instagram. You can see the comments there too, guys. This is the first time. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you. I think there's another comment there, but I can't read it. Hold on one second. Dude. There's a second one there. Anyway, I'm teaching right now. I'd like to recommend your channel to my students. Aww. Yes, please, go right ahead. I just saw your comment. I just can't read it. For some reason, my YouTube stream comments is off. It says something's wrong, and I'm like, I can't read it. So I have to zoom in on the text here. And yeah, feel free to recommend. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see that you're teaching right now, and feel free to. I'm just doing conversation practice in the morning. But yeah, thank you for your comments and thanks for coming in. I think that's Jidan. So Dante G, I think that's Jidan, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, I've been streaming again in the morning, so it's been great as you guys can see. Carry on, keep it up. Thank you so much. As you guys can see, it's like miss you, Han. Oh, I miss you too. I miss you too, G. Yeah, it is Jidan. I miss you too, Jidan. Thank you so much for coming here and at least saying hello and this kind of stuff. You guys see, this is why I wake up at 4 in the morning. Waking up to this, seeing you guys being on here, seeing my friends that I used to interact with back in the previous application where we used to be. And it says, it's me, Jidan. Yes, I knew it. Or there's only one person who calls me Han, and I'm just like, that's Jidan. But glad to see that you're teaching. I'm so happy for you. I hope that it's really been fun for you too. I've been seeing some of your stuff, and I'm like, good work. Good work, dude. Great job. So yeah, some of my friends here they were formerly my students, and like, it's nice to see an impact from my life to see them here again. Like, for example, Jidan has pursued teaching. And it's been really cool just to see, like, you know, the students I used to teach now have become teachers. Maybe from my influence, maybe they found that their spark was in teaching after all, or that they really enjoyed it. So it's really nice for me to see this kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you so much, Jidan, for coming in. It really, oh my god, I just feel so happy right now. I'm a little emotional, but I don't think I will cry. But yeah, it's stuff like this moment exactly is the reason why I pursue what I do, why I love waking up at 4 in the morning. Well, I resent it, but I think to myself, I'm like, okay, I gotta exercise, I gotta use the bathroom, I gotta dress up, I have to be on here because I never know who's gonna be on here, you know? So it's just, that's just how it is. It's like when you meet people and then they come back in your life, and it just feels like that. It's like that moment for me, just seeing Miran was here, and then Jidan was here and surprised me on YouTube. And then yeah, I love this kind of stuff, you guys. I just don't know how to explain it from that point on, but this is exactly what makes my life fulfilling. It's just seeing your work and seeing people that you've once spent a lot of time with coming back for, you know, like interaction or just saying hello. But I love this stuff. Anyways, I digress before I go on this tangent and start talking more about this kind of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the questions, and I'd like you guys to reflect on your life, on your own experiences and improvements, and hopefully aiming to have yourself a satisfying and fulfilling life. I think everyone has the right to have this, because you guys have a right to enjoy life and be happy, you know? So yeah, protect that happiness, protect it fiercely, and don't apologize if that takes time away from people who are used to having so much of your presence. Because if your friends or your loved ones really love you, they would love to see you happy and pursue what you love, you know? But of course, always do it always take things with I forget the expression, I apologize, that's brain fog for me in the morning. I was gonna say take it for mediocre, but that's not the word I was looking for. Take it little by little. I think that's the closest thing I can think of right now because my brain fog is so intense right now. What I'm saying is don't overindulge in things because it's not good. Because you guys know too much of something is not healthy for you. So again, like you can refer back to eating sugar or junk food. It's not healthy for you in the long run. So in that case, just indulge, but don't overdo it. And yeah, you should be fine. So be happy, protect your happiness, protect your boundaries, all that stuff. Those are just my daily reminders to you guys. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, I totally forgot there was one more question here. So what advice would you give or want to receive? So it can be either or, whichever you prefer. What advice would you give? For me, what advice I would give, I just basically said it. Protect your happiness, your happy place. Don't worry about people. If people are saying it's selfish of you to make time for yourself, obviously they don't know what happiness is, or like they don't understand what it means to give yourself some sort of fulfillment for yourself. And everyone needs that sort of enrichment and that self-fulfilling experience, because that is basically the epitome of life itself. If you're not living, if you're not doing something that gives you a feeling of life, you know? So for me, it's like singing. Singing makes me feel so alive. Dancing makes me feel so alive. Learning languages, teaching on here for you guys makes me feel so alive. Like I want nothing more but to be here in this present moment. So yeah, that's why I'm like always be fierce about embracing and keeping this close to your heart, because this is what gives me a meaning in my life. So do that for yourself and don't mind what other people say. You know, live your best life. I guess advice that I want to receive is what else could I do to improve my routine? And oh, Jidan just showed up on Instagram and said, oh, I just realized you are streaming here. Yeah, I'm also streaming here at the same time. As you can see, I'm on YouTube and this simultaneously. But yeah, thank you for joining. Also, yes, Hans just commented the word I was looking for. When I said take it little by little, the word is moderation. Take it in moderation. Thank you so much. My brain fog is so intense. I was like, it starts with a letter M somewhere. But yes, going back to that topic before I move on, take everything in moderation. Do not overindulge, because if you get hyper fixated on something, it's gonna control your life. It is an addiction. My example was dance. When I started dancing last year and did a lot of ballroom dancing, what happened was I got addicted to the point that, you know, I neglected my friendships. I lost a lot. I mean, I did lose some weight, which is awesome, but I sacrificed sleeping. You know, it was also a financial burden because at the time I wasn't working, and I made amends meet, like I made my ends meet. So I was able to get away with still having a VIP because I had saved some money on the side, you know? So I was able to pay at least like a few months for VIP pass. And then I used to sleep at like 3 in the morning. So every time my friends wanted to meet for lunch or like breakfast, I would oversleep, you know? And like I don't see my best friends outside of dance as much as I used to at that time. So there is negligence in areas. And I found that the more I was obsessed with dance, the more I also I wanted to become better, which is of course a good thing. But at the same time, I started to hate it too. So if there's anything I learned about myself, is that if I was overindulging in something for too long, I start to get fixated to the point that I hate it, you know? Like I wanted to become, okay, I'm just gonna open up a little bit here. I used to, there was a competition I attended way back in October, and I believe it was called the Jack and Jill event. And it was my very first competition. I was super excited for it, and of course when I did perform, it was nerve-wracking because I didn't do well. You know, like, it was my very first competition. I also had some dancers come and tell me, like, you should have taken the first time event, which is like the newbie one. And I was like, I didn't want to take newbie. I skipped it to go to beginner because I wanted to be a beginner. Like, I really want to pursue dancing. I really want to commit to it and perform and of course get points for participating in the event. But even so, when after that competition, I started to hate dance. That was it for me. I was like, all right, I met the pinnacle of what I wanted, which is competing, and then I just didn't appreciate dancing from that point on. So in a way, the reason for my hiatus from November, so it was October when I did the competition, so November, December, January, those 3 months I took time away from dance, was one, I was burnt out. 2, I started to hate dancing, which wasn't good, because when you start going for when you start going through like a theoretical or technical aspect, which is something that I went through with singing too, once it becomes technical, I start to hate it because my flaws are in my face, and I start to hyperfixate on my flaws, that I disregard all of my all of my advantages or things that I'm good at in that aspect. So for singing, I'm really good at storytelling, I'm good at putting emotions, but the problem that would come over and over again is I can't sing on key. My pitch, I would be half a key or note off, and that would bother me so much to the point that I hyperfixate on singing on key. I forget to express myself in the song. So in that sense, I lost my strength, you know? And in dance, I'm very, very creative when I dance. I know the kind of person is, the kind of dancer I am is I like to show off. I have moments where I'm just like, oh yeah, get into the music, groove into it, be creative. That's my strength in dance. I'm like, that's something that I've always noticed about myself, is I'm very creative in those kind of outlets. But once you make me focus on the technical aspect, which is getting my foot timing done perfectly, or this is how it should be looking like, I hyperfixate on that, I disregard my strength, and I forget about it, you know? And that's why it is so frustrating for me, and it's so important to know that, you know, like, I can only do so much for performing, and I'm learning every day, so that's why I give myself a lot of grace. And it's also important that I'm thankful that I walked away from dance for like 3 months, because I think I needed that time to just take a break and let my body like adjust to the changes that needed to happen, which is like, you know, if you haven't played piano in a long time and you start playing a song that you knew by heart, it's just muscle memory at that point, right? So the same thing happened to me when I was dancing. I actually told a friend about this, or a colleague at my work. I was like, yeah, I kind of feel bad because I stepped away from dance for 3 months. Partially because I did have paperwork to do, which is something I could not skip out on, and I had to focus on that first. I also needed to save money because I was like broke at that point, and I was on a lot of holidays, because you guys know November, December, and January are like holidays, like, and then I didn't have a lot of consistent pay, so that made it really difficult financially for me. And the last one was, of course, I just needed time away from it. I needed to stay away from dance just a little bit longer, and just, yeah, that's about it. Also, I just realized, oh my goodness, I've been on here for like an extra 7 minutes. It's already past an hour because I have to get ready for work, you guys. Sorry. I love talking about this. You can hear me blab about it all day, but I know it's time to go. All right, so on that topic, that is the end of today's stream. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, feel free to leave comments. I love reading comments. If you guys enjoyed today's stream, let me know. If you want to hear something more specific, let me know too, and that's fine with me. Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. I do have new questions prepared. I'll try to like make the next presentations after today's stream, and then I'm gonna start getting ready to go to work next. I know for a fact this week I really want to get started on learning Japanese, because as you guys might have heard in the previous video, I am flying to Japan at the end of March, and it's because I will be attending a wedding as my best friend's +1. So yeah, I need to just know the basic fundamentals of just survival. That's it for me. Alrighty. So, guys, I go live on YouTube and Instagram. I have conversation practice Monday through Friday at 5 a.m. PDT. It's not gonna be every day by February. I have to reinforce that just to remind you guys again. I will be changing the schedule to most likely Tuesday, maybe? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm just thinking about it. We'll see. I still have yet to plan it out. I was thinking Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Thursday. I don't really know. We will see how that goes. Because I will be having my dance schedule coming back into my life, so we'll see what happens from there. And then English for Everyone is every Tuesday. I am keeping that, so we at least have some material to work on, and in the following week I'll try to find a theme that will have us exercise the target language that we learned. And there's that. Okay, so that being said, you guys, I always post stuff on Discord. That is the #1 place you will hear news about, oh, am I streaming today or am I canceling today? It's on my Discord, so if you are on YouTube, the link is in the description box. If you are in my Instagram watching this, the link is in my the link is on my profile page. So if you open that link, it's gonna pop up and say Discord. Click that, and then you're in the group. So yeah, make sure, like, if you want to look for those news, it'll all be there. I barely post any updates on my YouTube story. I only do it if I remember it or if I have the time to. Most cases, no. I would say it's like, to be honest with you guys, maybe a 10% chance that I'll post something through Instagram story to share any news. But other than that, everything is on Discord. I mention everything there, and I try my best to let people know during my conversation practice if there's any new events or if I have any cancellations, because it's the first thing in the morning. So at this point, so far so good. Everything has been consistent and I've been here on time, and yeah, that's it. All right, with that being said, guys, I do have to go and get ready for work. I will see you guys tomorrow at 5 a.m. and I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Thank you so much for joining me today. I was so happy to see you, Miran. Thank you for joining. Hans, thanks for making time to always be on stream and support. And Jidan, it was so great to see you. It was lovely to see you. I think I had other students I worked with in the past stop by for just a short while and just see what I was doing. But other than that, thank you guys for joining me. I wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Drink some water, eat something healthy. Have yourselves a wonderful day or a good night's rest. So other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my day. Bye guys, see you next time. See you tomorrow morning.